Alright, I am in a proper sour mood today. This is the worst mood I have ever been in for recording a video. And let me explain it. I spent 2 hours looking for a mediocre Black Atom comic that I have to review it. And I couldn't find it. I looked in every single long box I have. I went through what I unaffectionately call my shit pile 3 fucking times. And not only could I not find it, but something else happened that actively ruined my day, my week, my month, and probably my fucking year. I didn't want to get into my weaknesses or phobias or mental hang-ups, because I know better than to expose any weakness. So instead, at this point, can I also ask, Robert, if you are watching, did I actually send you Black Atom 3, where he fights Stephen Hawkman? I think I had to have. If you still have it, can you record yourself flipping through it, and then I will overdub a review onto the footage. Anyway, the only comic that I am appropriately in the attitude for is something I ate. And I thought Stephen Hawkman is in Black Atom, so I can go over again why I didn't like this Stephen Hawkman series that was popular. Before I start, it has a nice cover. I like the cover. Always love seeing the proper DC Sandman and not the pretentious ravens of a phony poet. The cover isn't going to save it though. I have an immense dislike for this series and what it does to Stephen Hawkman, and that people accept it and find it suitable or a solution to Stephen Hawkman's problems bewilders me. We all know Stephen Hawkman has a messy history, more so from the late 80s onwards. The character was reinvented over and over again every few years, and it got to the point that he was just considered a huge continuity problem. One thing that maybe bothers me even more about this series is that just before this, there was a one-shot by a different writer that, in my opinion, perfectly resolved all of that. And then this series came and reinvented him again. This fucking pains me. This revision of Stephen Hawkman. It is many things, none of them good. But the main thing is it really does demolish every appearance of this character. This writer came along and he revealed that all these versions of Stephen Hawkman we have been reading about for years, none of them are really the true Stephen Hawkman, or rather none of them are the true origin of Stephen Hawkman. Archaeologist, alien warrior, space police, none of them are the character's origin. Instead, before all of that, the real origin of Stephen Hawkman is that he is a rip-off of a variety of other heroes. This writer retconned that Stephen Hawkman's first life, before countless reincarnations, was as a herald to a Galactus Man rip-off. Except it is worse, because this Galactus Man doesn't eat planets. This time, he feasts on the souls of the dead, or something like that. So Stephen Hawkman actively slaughters trillions and trillions of living things himself across the galaxy to feed his master. Straight away, you have got a major problem there in that you are taking a superhero character like Stephen Hawkman and you are burdening him with a body count that is higher than almost anyone else in the DC universe. Stephen Hawkman has murdered innocents by the trillion for no reason but to feed his master. Then he rebels against Galactus Man, just like Silver Surf Man. And knobheads who love this series can, oh, but it is the ultimate redemption story. No, it isn't. Stephen Hawkman didn't need to be boiled down to a redemption story. Before this, he had nothing to redeem. One arsehole writer came along and made Stephen Hawkman into the ultimate redemption story. Another reason I thought to do this video was because the last time when I slammed this series, I was effing and jeffing all over the place and getting annoyed at adverts for Michael Brian Benson shite. The idea with this new Stephen Hawkman origin is that he was then reincarnated over and over again until he has evened the scales and made up for all the people that he has killed. There's just so many problems with every bit of this new bullshit status quo. And yeah, I am not even acknowledging what happens in the issue, but I will come back around at the end and mention what I hate about this issue personally. The new origin for Stephen Hawkman is derivative and unoriginal, on top of all the other problems. His new story is Silver Surf Man, Spectre, Dead Boy, Pantsless Stranger. It is all their stories fused together and given as if it is new to this character that didn't need it and for whom it forever ruins. Let's talk about the idea of Stephen Hawkman working off his sins. You have given him such sins that it is basically a narrative that could or should never reach its conclusion. This writer is a laughingstock though, and fucking had Stephen Hawkman achieve redemption within 12 fucking issues. It's pitiful. Ah, but it is the ultimate redemption story. This here was a better redemption story. And I have read all of Thunderball's, and now what a good redemption story is. And it is not a clusterfuck to continuity that breaks a character forever and only allows one selfish writer's take to persist. Basically, you have replaced anything iconic with Stephen Hawkman, any of his many disputed origins, and given him a bad rehash of other heroes. The concluding problem is that now every Stephen Hawkman appearance has been invalidated or overturned. Now you have to accept that Stephen Hawkman, whichever version you prefer, is just a reincarnation of this miserable Silver Surf Man ripoff who has butchered more people than the Joker. And that is basically what this issue is doing. It is ganning back. It is ganning back to the days of the Justice Society of Superheroes. And it is stating with a disgusting, egotistic grin on the writer's face that all Stephen Hawkman appearances are this prick's version of Stephen Hawkman. It has always been this planetary genocide knockoff, reincarnated, even in the Golden Age. And the greatest irony of all is that in offering Stephen Hawkman a one true origin, all this bastard has done is provide greater reason for the next writer to reinvent him again and retcon everything. I give this entire shambles a odd fuck off. I didn't care if you like it or think it is the best comic DC were putting out at the time. It isn't, and it never was, and you are wrong, and you probably like John Jeffries as well. 7 thumbs up.